Good morning, Truckee. Morning, morning. All these hardened Truckee locals braving 4 inches of snow. I commend all of you. It's rough out there. School's canceled. We've got kids here, you know. Boy, tough community. All right, I'm Raven Whittington. I'm an attorney at Porter Simon and the MC for Good Morning Truckee. We have a great lineup this morning with people from the ski resorts, which is apropos the snow that we got or didn't get, depending on your perspective this morning. And we have 3 speakers. We have Bridget Legnivsky, I apologize on the last name, who's Sugar Bowl and Royal Gorge. Then we'll hear from Amy Oran from North Star Resort. And closing out our program will be Dee Byrne of Palisades Tahoe. But first, as always, we're going to thank our sponsors. We have Tahoe Forest Health System, Auerbach Engineering, Dixon Realty Truckee Tahoe, JK Architecture Engineering, NV5, Porter Simon, Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation, Tahoe Truckee Media, Sierra Sun, Moonshine Inc., 101.5 Truckee Tahoe Radio, the Town of Truckee, the Truckee Tahoe Airport District. And as always, we like to thank the community that puts on Good Morning Truckee. That's Jessica Penman, the chamber staff, Ruth Giersey, Melissa Williams, and Brenda Stark, one of our ambassadors. And then also Kelly Cutler of CAT, Mayumi Peacock of Moonshine Inc., Ernie Grossman, Gerald Herrick, the Fire Department Board, Tony Lashbrook, Jim Porter, Deb Ryan of TTCF, Ted Owens of the Tahoe Forest Health System, and as always, Rory, who's making this possible with all the technology of Tahoe Truckee Media, and again, the Town of Truckee for letting us host it here in the Town Council Chambers. So let's go around the room and do introductions. Why don't we start, how about in the middle? I'm going to start with you, Ted. It's election day. I wanted to feature you being a man of the...
I'd like to announce my candidate. Ted Owens, Tahoe Forest Health System, Chamber Board, and Land Trust.
Tony Lashbrook, Interested Citizen, and Truckee River Watershed Council Board.
Morning.
Sarah Van Sicklin with the Truckee North Tahoe Transportation Management Association.
All right, let's go back. Eric?
Eric Bouldering, Bouldering Travel.
Jennifer Gallagher, JK Architecture Engineering.
Judith Klein, Tahoe Luxury Properties.
Dr. Barry Treisman, local chiropractor.
Jerry D., resident of Olympic Valley.
All right, let's start. Chris, you want to go?
Chris Pennant, Malikin Construction, Catmore.
Taylor, Tahoe Truckee Job Manager for Connected Way. Brenda Starr, Tucson International Real Estate and a Chamber Ambassador.
Good morning, Emily Linus with the Truckee Tahoe Workforce Housing Agency and Chair of the Truckee Chamber.
I'm Jessica Penman. I'm the President and CEO of the Truckee Chamber.
I'm Bridget Legnivsky, and you'll hear more from me later.
Doug Ranella, board member for the Truckee Tahoe Football Club.
John Slaughter, marketing for Sugar Bowl.
Dee Byrne, Palisades Tahoe.
Good morning, Amy Oran, North Star, California.
Let's go all the way over.
Chris Parker, Sugar Bowl, Royal Gorge, board chair, Truckee Trails Foundation, and Farmers Home Association.
Larry Young, Ward Young Architects.
Jake Hudson, NV5, and Truckee River Watershed Council.
Good morning, Ursula Arena, Sugar Bowl Academy, and Friends of the Truckee Library Board member.
Paul?
Paul Rauschlag, Elkins Engineering.
Kathy Slocum, Just Imagine Marketing and Design. I publish the Insider's Guide for the Truckee Chamber of Commerce. I'm also on the board of Donner Party Mountain Runners, and this is my 12th season at North Star as a coach for the race department.
Bill Kenny with Tahoe Truckee Brokers.
Robert Michelli, reasonably retired.
Good problems.
That's what I am happy here. I'm Brad Johnson. I'm not here in an official capacity, but I'm a Nordic ski instructor at North Star and Tahoe.
All right, welcome all. Actually, let's go up here.
Carolina Pacheco, the Truckee Chamber, and now the TTUSD District. I am Melissa Williams, Truckee Chamber, and a dealership.
All right, again, thanks all of you for joining us, and we're going to start the morning off with Bridget Levnaski of Sugar Bowl and Royal Gorge, and she recently took over as president and CEO, started her career as a ski instructor. You can come on up, and has worked her way up. I've got an introduction here. You deserve it. And she eventually became the GM for Cardona and Treble Cone Resorts in New Zealand, and her family are now living at Sugar Bowl and excited for a new adventure. So thanks for joining us here in Truckee, and a good morning, Truckee.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me here this morning. And I thought I should probably start off with the most important thing, and that is the snow conditions. Have we got them? And that's late. I mean, that's old. So I'm really appreciative to see so many people here on a snow morning, and I know the first snow makes it a little bit tricky and then we get better at it. But I just want you to know that I came from the village this morning and I walked out, and John's given me the amount, but I think he's pretty lean, but he said apparently we stick to the sticks. And anyway, we've had about 35 inches total of natural snow this season, but I can tell you right now it was up to my thighs as I trudged through it this morning and got here a little bit late. But it was awesome to see so much snow going on. And we're pretty excited about that because, we're not opening, and we're not predicted to open until the 25th of this month. And so the conditions are awesome. And I'm sure Dee and Amy will talk to that too. So really good start to the season, really positive for all of us. So we can be happy about that. I'm gonna get an opportunity to meet the community a little bit, but this is the first time, so I thought I might just do it properly, if that's okay. Ko Bridget Levnaski toku ingoa. Ko Ngāti Pakeha toku iwi, ko te waipunamu te whenua, no Wanaka aho. Engare ke Sugar Bowl Truckee aho e noho ana. E ko ana taku nyako, ki te miti ahu, kia koutou, no rira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So I am from Aotearoa, New Zealand, as some of you can probably tell. And what I said there is basically where I'm from, and which is really traditional for us. But I'm from a little town called Wanaka. And as I've already been introduced, was the GM of both Cardrona and Treble Cone ski resorts. One thing I don't know whether I should tell you, but I was also the chair of the chamber in Wanaka. So, yeah, interesting. So clearly unravelled myself out of New Zealand to come over here. It's a little bit of a surprise and a change of scene. But yes, my family will arrive. They arrive this weekend. So I'm here making sure there's food in the cupboards, working out what to cook, working out how to drive, working out how to do things again from scratch in a brand new country. My background was as a ski instructor. So I have grown up in the ski industry, was really relatively comfortable with the snow and the shoveling because people were a bit worried about that. I did a stint in America about 20 years ago in Colorado. I was 6 years in Breckenridge, so spent a lot of time developing and growing up in Breckenridge, and then 4 years in Aspen. And then after that, met my husband, who's Slovakian. That's why the last name's so hard to pronounce. And we ended up taking young athletes to Europe and got very heavily involved in the freestyle scene. Kind of brought that back and developed that at Cardrona, and we ended up being very heavily involved pipe park and slopestyle events. So that's kind of my background. And so if anyone wants to know any more about that, please come and ask me and talk to me about that. But here I am, and it's too long a story to tell you today, but I can definitely share that with you, and I'm pretty stoked and excited about being here. I am living up right on the resort at the village. My commute's about a minute walk to my office, depending on how deep the snow is, of course. So I'm fully absorbed with the family, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then once we hit summer, I'll probably look at kind of migrating into Truckee and joining the community more at that point. But I got to get this winter under my belt first, okay? So Sugar Bowl, John's put some slides together for me. Now you have to remember I've only been here 2 weeks, so I might ask John to come up here and be with me. John, well, he's here to answer any of the questions because I might not be able to answer them. But obviously we pride ourselves on being uncrowded. It's a resort that we try to keep the crowds down, so that's partly to do with the village's aspirations and what we're trying to do. So to do that, we limit our season passes, and this morning we're 84% sold on our season passes, and then they change rates about you've written it down, 8th of December, so we're doing really good on season pass sales, and then also day pass sales are in advance. Royal Gorge only have 15 passes left for the season, so obviously there's a lot of interest and really keen to see that, but we really want to get the message out there that they're almost closed off for the season. But we're really looking forward to, looking after our guests and celebrating with them and seeing our day pass people come up too. So that's something we're pretty excited about. Pass sales have been great. Probably the most exciting thing for us, and Chris, you can talk more to it than me, is the tubing park that he's just built. So Sugar Rush tubing. Oh, I'm not doing very well with my slides, am I? Sorry. Oh, that was me in the Harris Mountains in New Zealand. That's our uncrowded. And here's Sugar Rush tubing. So Sugar Rush tubing is a brand new tubing area that we have developed off the Judah Road. So you drive almost into Sugar Bowl and there's a brand new parking lot down there and the tubing area, which is incredible. And the team are just putting up lights last weekend, finishing the snowmaking. There's a 400 foot, I'm having to get my foot some metres sorted out at the moment. I've got a gauge on my hand. Feet magic carpet, and there's 10 lanes of tubing. So it's pretty big, and it's really well done, as what I'm learning when things are done there. They're done really well, and we can thank the team for that. And there'll be a whole theme around Sugar Rush. So there'll be donuts and lollies and all that stuff to keep kids happy. And of course, I was checking to make sure that they had a bar for the adults so they can sit there and enjoy. So, yep, they've got that too. I thought that would be a priority. So that's going to be, there'll be a kids' snow play area too. What we would really like to do is get the community up to have a look. So once we get our passes sorted and everything sorted, we're going to make sure that we extend a welcoming for all of you and to bring your families up to try that out, because we'd love to see you there, and it's important people see what we've put in place. Open weekends and holidays and some evenings. Clearly it's not that planned yet, but we're getting sorted. I want to talk a little bit about Royal Gorge. So there's been quite a lot of work that's been done at Royal Gorge this year. A lot of work with the trails, taking out trees, widening them so that we can get really good grooming through there. We've had a bridge put in so we don't lose the groomer into the creek, is that right? Yeah. Apparently the groomer fell into the creek, so they've put a bridge there, so that's really good. I'm really happy about that. But the piece that excites me, I come from, it's probably not surprising coming from Aotearoa, that we're really have had a really heavy involvement in environment. And part of my role was leading the climate reference group in the whole of Queenstown Lakes District. And a big piece of that was understanding, and actually it became bigger and bigger as biodiversity. And probably the thing that's exciting me a lot about the job is, the opportunities we've got around that at Sugar Bowl, but I'm really excited about the meadow. So the meadow obviously had a lot of changes done to it, and it was dammed in the past and built into a lake, but there's been a huge amount of work going on this summer to restore it back to its original self and bring back the biodiversity. And I know I'm fresh and I'm new, but I can't wait to learn more about what that means and what that means to the ecology and things up there. And I think, we haven't actually done it ourselves, but we've been partnering and supporting the US Forest Service and the South Scuba River Citizens League that have been involved in that. And it's something that we are very proud of to be associated with. The other thing with the Royal Gorge is we have upgraded the facilities. I went into the facilities the other day for the first time. I was so excited about having a facility like that, and we've upgraded it. I think that means that the bathrooms have been done up and they're really nice. I don't know what they were like beforehand, but apparently they weren't that great. And we've also got a brand new fleet of skate skis, which is exciting. See, I'm terrible with these. Events calendar, lucky I got that up because I'm not going to go through that line by line. But John and the team, John leads the events up at Sugar Bowl, has put together a fantastic list of events. I've come from a background of running World Cups every weekend, and what I love about the Sugar Bowl events, it's all about the people. Not that World Cups aren't, but this is all about the community, the recreation, bringing people up, and making the resort an attractive place to come. The events are themed with a whole lot of fun. It's all about coming together and enjoying the sport and enjoying each other, which I'm really excited about. And I'm excited about seeing where we can take that space. So that's our list of events this season. Lots of extra music going on. So there's quite a lot of work going into bands and music and kind of getting a really good vibe up there to keep people later on. And I think it's to keep them drinking and spending money, but we'll see. I'm still learning about that. And then the other piece I want to talk to, and again, Chris is here who knows a lot more about this than me, but clearly with the forest fires, something I watched closely from New Zealand before I came here when I saw the mosquito fire going, and I was asking someone keep me in touch with what's going on. I don't want to turn up to I don't know what I wanted to turn up to, but it was nice to see that one get under control. But part of that has sort of stemmed us into working around our forest health, and the team has put a lot of effort into forest health. That just flicks a picture between what it looks like now and what it did look like at the start of the summer. And that's been going on all through the West Village up at Sugar Bowl to improve the forest, thinning and clearing out all the debris. This has been a third of this is, most of it we've done ourselves, but we have been supported. So a third of it's been funded by the Truckee Fire, and the Measure T grant program that most of you should be aware of has gone into this restoration project, and we hope to continue this and improve that. It also does mean that the skiing will get better too, so that's probably important as well, so people can ski between this. 10,000 trees have been removed, and approximately 70 billion wood chips have gone to biomass and headed towards facilities in the region. So there's some really good stories there that I can't wait to uncover and understand more around what we're doing for the environment with that space, and I'm really proud of the team and walking into a team that actually really dedicates themselves to this. So I think that's the update on Sugar Bowl from me for now, and a quick introduction to me, but once again, absolutely lovely to be here. Thank you for having me, thank you for welcoming me, it was worth the drive. And I look forward to talking to you all more soon. Thank you.
We're going to do questions after each speaker. So does anybody have questions for Bridget? Yeah, Barry.
What's going on with the gondola? Oh, sorry.
Got to use these to pick it up on the feet.
What is happening with the traditional historic Sugar Bowl gondola?
So we are running it this year, and we are running it until such time as we can't run it, which is apparently coming up quite soon. So obviously there's a master plan in place. Sorry. I thought you could hear me. I've got a really loud voice.
We record it and it goes out.
Okay. So the old gondola will continue to run, and we will continue to maintain it. So obviously it is going this year. There is a master plan in place, and in that master plan there is a realignment proposed for the gondola, which takes us from Judah, so the entrance to Sugar Bowl would be Judah, and bringing a smaller, faster, more newer gondola into the village from there, but that'll be a few years away. In the meantime, we will look after and nurse that gondola through. We are very pleased to say that we have a full gondola crew. In fact, we've got some extras, which is probably our most healthily staffed department, which is a good thing.
Any other questions for Bridget?
I'm looking forward to riding it, I think.
Be careful.
All right, thank you, Bridget. Barry, will you flip that power off on that mic? Thank you. All right, next up we have Amy Oran of North Star Resort. She's the Vice President and General Manager, and she spent 22 years in the ski industry, most recently as the VP and GM of Woodward Mountain Centers in Tahoe and Park City, and before that as President and GM of Boreal from 2012 to 2021. She's a member of the National Ski Areas Association and a North Lake Tahoe Climber Coalition, as an advisor to the Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation. So everybody welcome Amy. Thank you.
A little shorter. Good morning. I want to start out by just welcoming Bridget to the team. It's pretty cool to sit here next to Dee and to Bridget. I think we're learning. We have a very shared background in that all of us were really rooted in our careers, starting as ski instructors. So to sit next to these ladies is an honor. Also just want to welcome Jessica to her new role. Really fun to catch up with you this morning. It also gives me a little bit of ease with Bridget being 2 weeks in role, Jessica being a month. I am no longer the new girl at the table, which feels good. But thank you for the introduction. I'll build on that just a little bit more. I've been in this role at North Star for just over 3 months, so fairly new to role. However, this is a a return home to Truckee community for me. As mentioned, as Raven mentioned in the introduction, been here since 2012. Came down from Mount Bachelor in Bend, Oregon, where I was director of skier services. And when I finished, I had a hybrid role of VP of staff and skier services up there. And the last 2 years, I've overseen the Mountain Center locations for the action sports brand of Woodward. Opened the location here in Tahoe, and then our new location in Park City up on Parley Summit. If you've been there, pretty incredible facility, and tough departure. But coming back here full time and joining the team at North Star is an honor. And I reflect back to my first time in this room, probably about this week, 12 years ago. And it's just been an incredible decade in this community and getting to know this group here. So I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you in, same person, same place, just in a different seat. I'm going to give the more up-to-the-minute snow report than Bridget did. Outside right now, it is dumping snow, right on cue. And just a little conditions update similar to what we've had up on Donner Summit. And I say we, I will always be part of Donner Summit as well. Received about 3 feet of snow up on the mountain at North Star, really strong snowmaking conditions. This week last year, I remember taking one of these meetings from my back deck in my flip-flops in Truckee. So I think we can just acknowledge that it feels like we're stepping into a pretty incredible year and some pretty great patterns so far with weather. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we are focused on at North Star this year. A theme for us is really around welcoming. Welcoming back some of the operations and traditions that have been paused the last couple of years. And this is also a season of really welcoming in, which I'll share some of what we are really excited about. I have to say, I am so excited about the donuts associated with tubing. It's just such a no-brainer. I'll see you up there for that bar as well. First and highest priority for us, when I started in early August, our biggest priority of focus was on team. And as the industry has experienced the challenges with getting to full staffing the last couple of years and the impacts to our operations, the prioritization of the mountain operations, we have really focused on getting to full staffing, and it's going well. I think we're all feeling really encouraged by the progress that we have made in getting back to full teams. And I know everyone in this room in the business community understands the challenges of getting to full staffing right now. Our team is feeling really encouraged by where we are this year. And obviously with full teams, comes full operations. And I think it's clear that we've all prioritized our mountain operation through the pandemic, getting people out on the hill, and our base areas and our villages have felt rather lonely, and North Star has been really impacted in the village experience. And so we're excited to be welcoming back full operations in this upcoming year. And also just welcoming back traditions. Some of the beloved traditions at North Star had to change the last couple of years. And the two questions I got when my joining this role was announced, the first was, are you going to bring back the champagne toast? And I was like, well, these are really hard questions. We will be bringing it back. The second question, which I laugh a little bit, is, you're from Woodward. Does it mean the entire mountain is going to be a terrain park? It's not. But I am very passionate about animated terrain and progression terrain, really to focus on programming, which North Star is such a strong position with. So I mentioned just bringing village back to life, and we are really just calling this, village vibrancy. We, in the last couple of years, have had a lot of vacancies in the village, a lot of closures, and we are really excited to be bringing back a pretty full run of show in the village this year with both operations and event programming. We had 7 owned locations of ours that have been closed last couple of years, and they're kind of our primary brands: Patagonia, North Face, Oakley, Butterbox. We're reopening 7 of our owned locations. as well as bringing in 4 new tenants over the next month. I have a logo up here to share with you. We are also opening a new restaurant. It's called Wild Pine, and I still get a little lost in the village. This is the old Rubicon location, and we'll be opening this restaurant in December. It's a family-style rotisserie, really cool look and feel inside. So really excited to be opening this brand in the next couple of weeks, going quickly. Another thing that we are really excited about is the Comstock lift upgrade. Comstock is kind of the most beloved lift and beloved terrain at North Star. Originally built in 1989, and if you take the hours that we have run Comstock, it would be the equivalent of turning it on and letting it run for 6.5 years straight. So we're really excited to be able to open this new lift. It is an upgrade, a full rebuild, towers, footings, all of the machinery, upgrade from 4 to 6, so increasing uphill capacity. Really, it just means more skiing, less time in lines. This picture was taken remarkably in the middle of the mosquito fire and the smoke events. We had an incredible just clearing when we were flying our towers. This is a day that that we were actually flying the cross arms for the towers, and we've had a lot of the work just go in our favor this year. Everybody was asking, is the supply chain going to affect your lift? Up until 3 weeks ago, we were super, super confident. We had a little bit of heartburn, but we're really excited to just share with this team that we are on track to meet our load test and scheduled opening over the next couple of weeks for the Comstock lift. So really, really excited there. And there's this. So North Star, in addition to our sister resort, Kirkwood, celebrating 50th this year. We're putting together a really cool run of show based on, honoring and sharing the first 50, obviously celebrating the 50th, and really focusing on how we influence the next 50. I would give you an insider tip. If you're going to participate in North Star's 50th events, you probably want to have a pretty cool 70s outfit. You've been told first. This group looks like, yeah, which one am I going to choose? I've got several in the closet. But I'm honored to be at North Star this year for the 50th and to be celebrating what is ahead. That's my last slide. Did want to talk a little bit, Jessica had asked that we just share a little bit of our focus around climate change, climate adaptation. And like Bridget, I am new to Vail Resorts, new to North Star, and learning a lot. I was in this room, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, when one of my counterparts had shared Vail's commitment to zero. And I remember sitting in the audience and shaking my head and saying, wow, this is a huge commitment, big, bold commitment to zero. And essentially what this means is commitment to zero, which is zero waste to landfill by the year 2030. And we're going off a baseline of 2017. And when I reflect back to when that statement was made to following the progress that has made thus far, we're on track to do so. And it's pretty incredible, the plans that are ahead. The second commitment is zero net emissions, which has been reached across the company by producing through wind power. And the third is zero net impact to forest and habitat. And this is something that North Star has really owned for going back to 2010, and some incredible work. We manage about 8,000 acres, and about 4,000 have been treated over the last 12 or so years, with a focus on fuels reduction and habitat and wildlife. And it's been an honor to learn the progress in that project, and something that we are really excited about in the next 50. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Amy. Questions for Amy about North Star? Questions? All right. Thank you. All right, up next we have Dee Byrne from Palisades Tahoe, and Dee has worked in the ski industry for over 30 years, has held numerous positions across prominent mountains and brands. Dee joined Palisades Tahoe in 2011 as the managing director of snow sports, was promoted to vice president of skier services in 2017, and was appointed president and COO in 2021. Dee is passionate about creating great experiences for her employees and guests and can't wait to unveil the new base-to-base gondola. And she's here to tell us all about it, so Dee, come on up.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. Can't wait to actually officially welcome, I guess I'll officially welcome you, Bridget, but get a chance to actually, we're too busy to talk to each other, and I'm dying to know if our paths crossed in Aspen. So I came out of Vail, and all my formative years pretty much were in Vail, and moved to Aspen, thought that was going to be the last stop on my career path, and got a call about this cool place, and so joined the team in 2010, just on the heels of the 880 inches that we had. So when I showed up, it had not snowed for the month of January. You had good conditions through Christmas, but then the mountain quite honestly was a frozen cone. And then it started snowing. I woke up in the village. I was also staying in our village, and I woke up and I couldn't see outside the window. I'm like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? It was amazing. And then I moved to the boulders in Truckee, stayed there the rest of that winter, and every day commuted in, the road got narrower and narrower and narrower. Remember that? It was awesome. The Sierras are awesome, folks. You know, I'm trying to break down the old wives' tales about Sierra cement and the skiing out here. The quality of skiing that we get to experience, it's better than Colorado. You know, I thought I was going to go back, and yeah, I thought I was going back. You know, I thought, oh, 3 to 5 years. Had a home in Colorado, sold it, and I'm here. It's a remarkable place. We have a remarkable community. It's really different working here when you have competitors next door and we share the same community. So while we compete fiercely against one another, we're also very cooperative. I think we're all missioned to enhance the quality of life and of our forest and our water and so on and so forth. So really look forward to working with Amy and Bridget, and I won't go further because you did such a nice job. Also, Amy, welcoming everybody. So I have too much to share today. This is probably 45 minutes worth of content if I just talk at you. So I'm going to go quickly, and hopefully we can have Q&A on the particulars. Okay, now I was told how to do this. Start, stop. There we go. Okay. So here's my agenda. I chunked it into 3 categories, but really everything cuts across all 3. Just did this in order to keep things a little bit tighter and a little more focused. And so what I want to start with is some ideas in the guest bucket, and particularly what we're focused on. Starting with safety. Does Palisades Tahoe have a good or bad reputation for safety of our guests and employees? I'm just curious. Bad. Thank you for being honest. Yeah, I'm really missioned to change that, and my team is missioned to change that. But we need help from the community. We really need help. We need all of our guests to embrace the idea that they're sharing the mountain. In particular, we have a campaign called Share the Mountain, focused on collision mitigation or avoidance. The other thing that we're doing, so we do a lot in education, we do a lot in mitigation, we do a lot in consequences. Quite frankly, it's not enough anymore to just educate, we're enforcing. So we're telling guests they're no longer welcome if they can't behave themselves. Are we known as a resort where a lot of partying takes place? Yes, right? Yeah, so no more open containers in our lift lines, please, right? Keep the alcohol, and we're jesting about alcohol in this industry. It is part of the industry, but we're really trying to crack down as well and create, again, a more hospitable culture. And the other thing that we're going to do this year, there's a new mountain safety guide. I know that Amy and Bridget are also going to endorse and embrace this. We'll all be campaigning the Ski California tool. This is an excellent tool. So please look out for it, and please study it, actually. Anniversary of our name change. This was big last year. I think that's what I focused most of the content last year when I spoke to this group. I'll just cut to the chase to say we still have a lot of work to do in our community to help folks understand that certain things aren't appropriate, right? Using the term, the S word, I'm really trying to not say it anymore, is really derogatory toward Native American women. It's really bad. It's that C word. It's like calling a woman that C word. So please help me, and let's be, again, a warm and welcoming community to all peoples, right? Enough said. We are doing a lot of work with the Washoe. Here's some of the programming that we've done and we're continuing to do. They have been just a tremendous resource and ally, and we pretty much almost everything that we endeavor to do, we run it by them. Like Thanksgiving dinner. Is it appropriate to have Thanksgiving dinner? You know, some would say no anymore. Well, we celebrate it with the theme of gratitude and bringing family together and whatnot. But there are a lot of indigenous folks in our country who see it as a day of mourning. So just something to be aware of. So on our website, we're selling our annual Thanksgiving dinner. It's a really popular event. We love it. We love bringing people together. But we're also going to be informing in that advertising that it is offensive to some of our Native community. So just for awareness. All right, fun stuff. Oh, wow. You want to know about Base to Base? It's an amazing lift, and it is going to open. The rumors that are out there that it won't is not right. We're targeting December 16th, or pardon me, 17th and 18th that weekend for our grand opening. Please come out and celebrate with us. We'll have a bunch of free activities and bands and whatnot. I guess I will commit to this right now. And that is, I want to invite the community to come out and ride it for free on the 18th, on that Sunday, if everything goes well. So keep an eye out. Just bring yourselves and your families and come ride the thing. No ski or boards, just an opportunity to see the lift. It's really staggeringly remarkable. It's 2 big lifts that have a conveyance at the top of KT, so we can run those lifts independently or the whole thing. And there's a top-notch technology involved in it. I can go on and on. I won't unless you would like me to later. But really, really stoked to actually become one resort with this connection. And there are some folks that don't agree that it's going to be accretive to the guest experience, but I'm one that absolutely thinks the opposite. It's going to be a transformational vehicle and really change the whole guest experience and the employee experience in our culture. It's going to allow us to become more one team versus 2 teams under one company. So super stoked about it. Red Dog. Has anybody been out to the resort lately and looked up the hill and went, no way, there's no towers, Amy. They're in the parking lot. They made it to the parking lot. You know, conversely, to maybe North Star, we have suffered quite a bit of supply chain issues. And so it was only 2 weeks ago that they finally found the switchboard we need to run the thing. So top terminal's in, and towers are in the parking lot, and PAMA's saying that we'll be load testing by about December 10th. So no problem, don't worry, Dee, we're gonna have that open. I'm like, thank God. It'll be a high-speed 6, 5 minutes to the top of the ridge, and it actually contributes to our vision, our strategic vision to build out the KT East experience. So when we're shut down on the top of the mountain, we can run that whole ridge line, and quite frankly, that's as big as a lot of ski areas in our country, the acreage there. So this is part of that, and we've done a lot of thinning on the trails and manicuring of those trails, so on and so forth, to build out that experience. Snowmaking, we've upgraded to fans or automated systems on the Weasel Run over underneath TLC and over on Red Dog on the skier's left as you come down that last face, and on the Expedition Run on the skier's right, and again, that's part of building out that Snow King experience. I'll share a little something with you just for fun. We fired up, the snowmaking, was it last week when it got cold enough? And the lines on Red Dog and Expedition blew. So unfortunately, the team's gonna have to dig up some sections next week when we get a little break in this weather. And they tell me, the guys are like, they're amazing. They're like, don't worry, Dee, we do this all the time. It's just snow. Don't worry. I'm like, okay, great, thank you. In terms of guest service, we're opening, it's just staggering to me that we have not had overnight ski storage in our village historically. So we are going to have overnight ski storage for our day visitors or our regional visitors. Oh, that slides look a little funky, but here's some other things. Just Alpine deck. It's going to be a beautiful, when you walk up the breezeway now, we've expanded the deck and everything's on the same level with the gondola and TLC and Roundhouse and Summit. So it's going to be a really beautiful opening and egress into the resort. So we're expanding our barbecue, and there's going to be a food truck over there and lots more tables, so on and so forth. And then similarly up at the Alpine Chalet, we've expanded that facility, taken down some trees in order to create more sunshine or allow the sunshine in. And we're bringing in a container kitchen that will basically double our service ability up there, our throughput. Another thing that's been remarkable is we haven't been able to accept Apple Pay or Android Pay or any of those platforms, and we finally have that. So no more frustration. You can give us any kind of digital payment that you'd like to give us, and we can say yes instead of sorry, we can't take that. We're experimenting with up at the Arc at Gold Coast with photo recognition. So you photo recognition technology. So you pass underneath, and it takes with your tray. It takes a photo and it charges you. Yes. I don't know how they figure out how they can see the bacon in the burger. I keep saying, how are we going to know that there's bacon in there or cheese? Don't worry. Okay. All right. So. I already talked about overnight ski storage and the big event. Bridget, I'm going to be calling you. I have not put on a World Cup. I was part of the staff here in 2017 when we held the ladies event, which was a huge honor. And we are just thrilled to be holding men's GS and slalom at the end of February. We need 300 to 400 volunteers. If anybody has time and can come out and join us, please do. Into the community, focusing a lot on traffic and transportation. Do we have a traffic issue in Tahoe? Yes, we do. We want to do our part, and we recognize the challenges. I do not know what happened to my slide. Basically, that says we're doing a lot. We've expanded microtransit. We're bringing on van pool for our employees. We're expanding the shuttle service. We enhanced TART already, so we pay TART and then we also enhance it. So we have shuttles that run from Alpine and Olympic Valley that will run on the west and the north shore to assist our employees. We are doing a lot in terms of communication and transparency. We're going to tell the truth. And so please download our app, and there's a parking widget in there, and we're putting messaging out about our parking and about the roads through that, as well as on Twitter and website, so on and so forth. So it's our goal to inform you before you get stuck or before you don't have a place to park. We only had a handful, literally 3 park out days last year. Things went really well. We partner with, actually we don't partner, we bring them in and pay a heck of a lot of money for a third party that comes in and does our third lane traffic management. So they're on board for that. That's like $150,000 initiative. My team is very involved in the community on the various boards and committees, and we want to be at the table and we want to be problem solvers. So just wish I had $1 billion so we could expand 89. But Powerball, right? Who won? Yeah, who won? Oh boy. I'm going to look at my notes. So yeah, to Jessica's question on what are we doing about, or what are our concerns about La Nina, I said nothing. Bring it, bring her. And my team and as really all of us in this community, we've adapted to the environment here, and we continue to adapt and evolve. And we are really good at snow management and weather management. And so we don't have any cool new bells and whistles, but we have top-notch machinery and communication systems, so on and so forth. And so we like and want more snow. This shares some of our core tactics in reducing our carbon footprint. And frankly, Alterra Mountain Company, who's our parent company, is spending a lot of money in our corporate social responsibility space. And we now have a new head of sustainability at the Alterra headquarters in Denver. And she's bringing on an expertise we haven't had in the company. So the resorts will be partnering with her. And the first thing that we did under her is a greenhouse gas emissions study to understand where we're at, because we've had these goals, but quite frankly, we don't exactly know what our benchmark has been. So, and I still can't sit here and tell you what that is, but I can tell you that we're committed to reducing our footprint, and we're doing it through a number of ways, and we'll be doing a lot more in the future. So specific to Palisades, we've tripled the use of our renewable diesel, and diesel is 90% zero. We're diverting triple the number of composting pounds into the landfill. We're diverting them from the landfill this year, so really committed to the composting program. We're doubling our EV charging stations in the resort, and we're endeavoring, we're working with the Olympic Valley Business Association to replace the propane torch. It really bugs me that we're burning propane 24/7 at the entrance to the valley there. So some of the residents prefer that, but we're on the side of let's replace that with a really cool LED or something like that. So those are some of our tactics. And oh, this thing went off again. I don't know what happened to my slides. They looked perfect on my computer, so I apologize. And I'm also missing one. There's supposed to be a fire slide in here, similar to the discussion with Amy and Bridget. We're doing a lot in defensible space and forest health. And the biggest new initiative at hand for both predominantly the Alpine Valley residents, but it also connects on the ridge down by the resort at Squaw Creek. Oops, I said the word. And they are endeavoring to change their resort name. They haven't done that quite yet, but hopefully before the season actually starts here. In any case, National Forest Foundation is the lead agency, and we're working to support them to raise $180,000 to do the environmental that we need to get done before we can actually do the project, which is a multi-million-dollar project. Hopefully it'll kick off next year, and it will pretty much address that whole Alpine Valley and again the ridge that comes over from Juniper Hill. So excited about that, and just again a lot of other work going on in fire preparation and mitigation. And we were on the edge of our seat. Mosquito was only 19 miles behind us. But we felt ready. We felt that we had educated our community, worked with our community, had the plant prepared, had the sprinklers out, went and bought the big agricultural sprinklers, and tied them into our snowmaking system so we could protect our lodges and our lifts in the base area. It goes on and on, but really a important focus for us. Giving back. This is also important, and I just wanted to make folks aware that Alterra Mountain Company has a community foundation, And if you go to our website, you can see what's available, but really it's for financial relief associated with disasters or hardships, and it's available to all community members where our resorts operate, so not just our employees. So please know that that's available and spread the word. We also, at the resort, I have a philanthropy committee, and we contribute about $1 million in kind of donations back directly into North Lake Tahoe. We keep the funds and the support up here. And predominantly in social services, youth development, and education. Village development. Sierra Watch has done a great job positioning this inappropriately, or inaccurately, I should say. We are going to proceed. Today in Auburn, the Board of Supervisors are obligated by the courts to rescind the entitlements that we received back in 2016. We started working on those in 2011, right? So we got there in 2016. We got sued. We've been basically in court ever since. Finally got the ruling last August. And bottom line is we've got to go back to work in the EIR and redraft it on 4 issues. And we're very close to publishing that. We're working with county staff. So when Sierra Watch came out and said, the battle's won, they're done, that's not correct. We are going to continue to develop, and we're starting the process. We actually started it with some community meetings last month, and we're hoping that we'll get through this process and get a vote, obviously a positive vote, as early as next spring, because the first thing that we want to do is develop employee housing, workforce housing. On the lot, when you enter the valley, the lot to the right is where that will be, and we can't do that unless we get entitled. But we are doing the work right now. We're doing the planning. We've got a parallel process in place so that we can put a shovel in the ground as early as May if we can get approved. So happy to take questions on that later. Specific to the employee and specific to DE&I, actually, this could be most definitely in the guest and the community bucket, but what I wanted to share with you today is we're doing a lot of work to train our staff and to become more diverse out there. It's difficult when you don't have a pipeline that isn't diverse, but we're trying to signal to the marketplace that, you know, we're welcoming and please come join our team. And I know Amy and Bridget feel this way as well, but Tahoe, it's wonderful that we're more diverse than, say, a Vail, than a lot of mountain towns because of our proximity to the bay predominantly. But we're still not when you look at the population at the resort. So here are some of the tactics that we launched this last year, and certainly the Washoe are a big part of that. And you will start to see this flag, this progress flag. I noticed it on the doors, the entrance to this building. That was pretty neat. The "We belong here." You know, all peoples are welcome here. And a little bit more on what's going on with employee housing. That is actually an image of Granite Flat Campground. We did a pilot with the U.S. Forest Service last year, and that was positive, and so they've granted us a lease on that property again for this winter. So there's only porta potties out there. There's no electric and no other utility. So we will have our staff who have self-contained units, trailers or vans, able to park there. So we've got 18 employees interested right now. I think we've got room for 24. Just really, this demonstrates, I think, that our community, Ellie and his team over at in our district, they're really cooperative. They want to work with the ski resorts, and they want to be a partner in solving the workforce housing challenges that we have in the community. We master lease properties through property owners. We have about 170 beds in master lease. We bought an 8-plex cabin unit in Kings Beach. We're endeavoring to buy another hotel. In the meantime, we have leased it while we get through the complex purchase process. And the standard that we adopted that I want to share, because I know we're competing with one another in this space, is that we said we're not going to acquire any properties if we have to displace a local or a resident. So we missed out on a lot because there were people that were already occupying the spaces. So it's a really difficult situation. Our best opportunity here in the future is, again, pillows for about 300 employees at the base of our valley, if we can get that done. That, I believe, is my last slide. Phew, 8:15.
Thank you, Dee. Questions for Dee? Yeah, Tim.
Hi, Dee. I'm a Truckee resident and a weekday skier icon pass holder, and I have this notion of transit from Truckee to the Squaw, or excuse me, the Alpine, the Olympic Village base, and taking the base to base over to Alpine because that's where I primarily ski. Will it get me there for opening lift?
You mean, will it get you there first thing in the morning? Or?
Yeah. Can I get to Alpine by 9?
Oh, yeah. Right now, the operating times for the base to base is 9 to 4.
Yeah. We're gonna change that.
We're gonna be monitoring that. Oh my God, the conversations, you guys. Should I park at Alpine? You know, how long is the ride? Well, it's 9 minutes from the Alpine base to the top of KT. It'd be faster, but you have to go through the White Wolf Angle Station, Troy's property, right? So 9 minutes. So the other side is 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, KT chairlift is only 4. So, but just the conversation is really fun. How am I going to navigate a powder day, and how am I going to?
But my point is more sustainability, better transit service to Squaw, or to Olympic Valley, and so if the gondola's moving earlier, then it supports opening lifts at Alpine.
Understood. And again, we're going to be monitoring it. We're starting 9 to 4. There's 177 conditions of approval on that lift. It was a big lift, metaphorically, to get that approved. So we will not be running it in summer. We will not be running it at night. And we are authorized to run it from about 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night for maintenance purposes on either end. But we're not allowed to operate it. This is a nuance that I've got to dig into. I think we could open it at 8:45 kind of thing, but right now we're working through that nuance, and we'll be looking at that.
Any other questions? This is dangerous because I've got a microphone. And I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah, Barry.
Hold on to it. So I always think that the elephant in the room is our good morning is our parking quagmire on 89 and 267, and I realize that this is not just a Palisades problem. It's North Star. It's that we have 2 counties and in 2 states, or maybe more than 2 counties, in the town of Truckee and Taos City. But it seems like we need to have some big commuter parking lots, and I think that the real only place that could be is really in the Truckee vicinity. And so the question really is to everybody, what can we do to make that happen? So it's North Star, it's Squaw, it's all the county people and the town people. That's my question.
Easy question.
Yeah, easy question. And I can't remember which committee. I get them all mixed up still, or which acronym is looking at that. But there is work being done in the basin. Can anybody help me with that? To look at the triangle and come up with a master plan down the line. Community. Can you say that a little louder?
It's TNTTMA, the Transit Management Authority at Truckee North Tahoe.
Thank you.
I'm with the Truckee North Tahoe Transportation Management Association.
Perfect. Perfect.
Just so happens.
I'm with the Truckee North Tahoe Transportation Management Association. There are several different transit plans. TRPA is working on one. Placer County has their own transit plan. They work together. In the past, the TNT-TMA has managed park and ride programs for the winter. We won't be doing one to Palisades this year, only for the World Cup. But we do have a park and ride program from the airport to North Star this year that we will be managing. And so those are just a few things. Also, there will be a Chart Connect pilot program, and you can take that to the bus stop and take TART to either Palisades or North Star.
Thank you. That's awesome. That reminds me, yeah, we're redeploying the dollars. The Truckee Park and Ride didn't really work to Palisades. Nobody wrote it. So we're redeploying those dollars, and we're trying to reenact or bring back the Sherwood Shuttle. So shuttle service that we operate from Sunnyside into Ward Canyon. We don't have approval from the county yet for that drop-off, but we're hoping to get that.
Hi. Question about the development in a new EIR. I noticed on the slide you didn't have anything about that water park or additional condos or whatever in that area. Are those things that are going to be included in the EIR or not?
They're not part of the EIR, but they're part of the village-specific plan. It does include 850 new units, 1,493 beds max, which is down 62% from the original master plan, but those are still in there, mixed use, multiple type, as well as what we're calling Mountain Adventure Center. Not a water park, but a center that's all enclosed inside a building that would house some water features. Yeah, I guess it depends on your definition. We need a pool, folks. We need a pool in the Olympic Valley, in the base area. Kids and families love water, and so at the very minimum, we'd like to have a pool, and we'd like to have some other fun features in there. What we tried to include, we tried to envision at the time, or we did envision, every type of activity that you might be able to do indoor and then transfer to the outdoors. For instance, paddleboarding. If you could teach paddleboarding inside where it's warm and whatnot, and then folks could go from that experience to the lake, that'd be pretty cool. So climbing walls, actually a fitness center for our ski team. We have kind of a rudimentary workout center that we cobbled together, and it's functional, but I think our ski team deserves a better facility. So it also is the only real commercial footprint in the plan, and so we would like to enhance and expand our conference services. We don't have enough meeting space. I'd also like to have an office for my team. We don't have offices, and so probably we would have employee space in there as well. So multi-purpose, and there's no clear vision at this point other than what I'm sharing on what will actually go in that building. The other thing, so the entitlements, they basically describe the master plan, right, for what you can develop. But that doesn't mean you can go build anything. You still have to go through the process, right, of getting the building permits. And I mean, you guys can, you know that process better than I do, I'm sure. We're still years out.
Raven, I think we'll turn it back to you. You have just about enough time to finish.
If people have questions, I'm sure they're happy to answer, and we'll stick around afterwards. But we are going to move into stump speeches. And Dee, thank you very much. So, stump speeches, I have one for the North Lake Tahoe Truckee Leadership Program that I'm going to read out. And they're going to continue taking applications for their 2023 class until December 5th. And they are an adult leadership program that teaches leadership skills and introduces community topics. The program gives emerging leaders the tools they need to make a difference in the community, and they meet one full day per month from January to June. You can find out about the leadership program at www.tahoetruckeeleadership.com. Any other stump speeches? Yeah.
Races going on for the school board and the town of Truckee and I believe a few other special districts have races as well. So it's important to get out the vote and for our local community leadership.
Yeah, and no excuse. You can vote in either county right here before you leave the door. So, all right. Okay, any other stump speeches? If not, we're going to go into the raffles. We have a lot of, Oh, the pickleball.
Good morning, everybody. Real quick update on our pickleball club where we're collaborating with the Park and Rec District to try to build 16 courts here at Riverview Park. Where fundraising is doing very well. We're up to $192,000, and Rupert Construction has signed a letter of intent to do all of our grading and excavating work. So we're looking real good so far. If you want to get a shirt or a hat, go to the website. Thank you very much. Pickle on.
All right.
Indoors in the winter at the Parks and Rec building.
Real quick reminder, Friends of the Truckee Library is having a fundraiser at Rubicon Pizza at North Star on Thursday night. So once we get through this storm, come join us. It's for the new library project. If you have any questions about it, you can see me after the meeting.
Anybody else? All right, get out those raffle tickets. We've got some good ones this morning. We're going to start with, got a whole list here. Why don't we start with the Palisades Icon Blue Beanie. All right. Starting with 4584600. All right. Here we go with a return ticket to Good Morning Truckee, a snow globe, and a Winter Wonderland neck gaiter. 4584584. One more time. 4584584. All right. Next up, a Sugar Bowl lift ticket. Sugar Bowl lift ticket. 469039. Ah, that's good, Larry. All right. You can ski with your granddaughter. All right, how about we do a Palisades ball cap and neck gaiter? 4584639. Okay. Do a Sarah Smith Rainbow Bridge print and a return ticket to Good Morning Truckee and a neck gaiter, which you can use on your way out here. 4584638. All right. Two more items. I'll really mix it up. Palisades Icon knit hat. 4584606. 4584606. All right, back. And last but not least, another Sugar Bowl lift ticket. A Sugar Bowl lift ticket. The final and lucky winner, 4584580. Who got it? Oh, Barry in the back. All right, that's it. That's all we have. Thank you to Amy and Bridget and Dee. A great presentation. And yeah, everybody get out and do their squats and leg lifts and get ready for the season. Good morning, Truckee. We'll see you next month.